And we're back with more Hamilton Tigers franchise mode in FHM 11. And in this one, we have the year 10 playoffs. After having a really shaky start to the season, we somehow managed to get it together with the hiring of Jake Seibel, our new head coach, who has high motivation and high tactics. And in his first year as a head coach in the NHL, managed to go 41, 16, and 6, which landed us a spot in second in the Atlantic Division. So now we find ourselves going up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's get right into it. Game number one, sim game. That will be a 4-1 Hamilton victory. There you go. Shots are 34-33 in favor of Tampa. 3 stars of the game, Helenius, Gagin, and Lomborg. First period, you have Costa Helenius with back-to-back goals, both on the power play. The first from Nemetz and Florent, and the second from Nemetz. And then you have Kane Wilkie with the goal for Tampa to make it 2-1. And the second period, you have Marchenko with the goal from Lundqvist and Savoie. And then the third period, you have Helenius with a hat trick from Ryabkin and Lomborg to make it a 4-1 victory. All right, game number 2 will be a 3-1 Hamilton victory. Shots of 38-24 in favor of your Hamilton Tigers. 3 stars of the game, Zellweger, Mullen, and Frundell. First period, no scoring. Second period, Mullen with the goal for Tampa to make it 1-0. But then it's Frundell from Savoie and Eklund to make it 1-1. Third period, you have Ryabkin with the goal from Zellweger, and then Harley from Helenius and Bjork to make it the 3-1 victory. We're up 2-0 in the series. Game number 3, we're in Tampa this time. That will be a 3-2 Tampa victory. Shots are 51-20 in favor of your Hamilton Tigers, but they still somehow pull off the victory. 3 stars of the game, Fitzpatrick, Zellweger, and Camiso. Yeah, Camiso with the 3rd star of the game, well deserved. He probably deserved the first star of the game with how many shots we peppered on the net, only letting in 2 goals. As quite the performance from him. First period, you have Paul Fitzpatrick with the goal to put Tampa up 1-0. And the second period, you have Caden Taylor with the goal to make it 2-0. Then later on in the period, you have Yannick Yagi with the goal from Zellweger and Kazda to make it 2-1. Third period, Paul Fitzpatrick with another one to make it 3-1. Then it's Victor Eklund in the middle of the period from Levshinov and Harley to make it 3-2, but it was not enough. And we dominated that game clearly, at least when it comes to the shots department, but we could not figure out a way to solve Camiso more than twice. So we're going to have to definitely break through in the next one here. We do not want them to tie it at 2 here in game number 4. Come on, boys. That will be a 2-1 Tampa Bay victory. Shots are 40-24 in favor of Hamilton. Come on, Camiso. 3 stars of the game, Nazar, Savoie, and Camiso with yet another stellar performance. He has absolutely killed it for Tampa, and he has almost single-handedly gotten them back in this series. Oh, man. First period, Brady Albert with the goal for Tampa to make it 1-0. Then in the second period, you have Frank Nazar on the power play to make it 2-0. Matthew Savoie with the lone goal for us in the third from Marchenko and Eklund, and we are now tied at 2 in the series, despite the fact that over the past 2 games, we put 91 shots on net, and we still have only somehow managed 3 goals over the past 2 games. Mr. Camiso has been an absolute wall for Tampa. That's the only explanation. That's not even for a lack of effort on our offensive part. It's just Camiso playing out of his mind. So we have to really test Camiso here in this game number 5, pivotal game number 5. That will be a 3-2 Hamilton victory. Okay, he's beatable. Shots are 40-17, so we're clearly dominating here. But Camiso, for the most part, has been an absolute brick wall for Tampa over the past 3 games. 3 stars of the game, Helenius, Taylor, and Kazda. First period, you have Frundell with the goal from Nemetz and Florent to make it 1-0. Second period, Ryabkin with the goal from Helenius and Bjork to make it 2-0. Third period, Caden Taylor with the goal for Tampa makes it 2-1. But then it's Yannick Yagi 25 seconds later from Kazda and Helenius to make it 3-1. Adam Sikor with the goal to make it 3-2. But we do get the win. All right, here we go. Game 6. Elimination game. We have 2 opportunities to end it here. Come on, Hamilton. Oh, that's a goal right off the bat for Frank Nazar. They're up 1-0, but a goal by Yannick Yagi from Murnix and Helenius to make it tied at 1. But there's 2-1. Marek Vanacker with the goal for Tampa in the middle of the period gets them up by 1. And now we're headed into the second period down by 1. Come on, Hamilton. All right, there's a goal for Costa Helenius. He's been good in this series from Kazda and Ryabkin to make it tied at 2. Oh, but there's the goal from Mullen to break the tie once again for Tampa. It's now 3-2 heading into the third period. All right, there's a goal for Anton Frundell from Florent makes it 3-3. Come on, Hamilton, break this tie. There it is, Ryabkin from Bjork and Levshinov. With 8:04 remaining in the third, there's 5-3. Levshinov with the goal from Bjork and Frondell. And then will that be it? Yep, there you go. The unassisted goal by Vigo Bjork with 48 seconds left. And that is it for this series. We are moving on to round number 2. There you go. Shots are 41-33 in favor of Hamilton. 3 stars of the game, Bjork, Florent, and Levshinov. And in the second round, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, who are 45-32-5 during the regular season. They have Combe and Albanese as their studs. They're only 22 and 23 years of age, respectively. So that's certainly a duo to watch out for. They had 96 and 91 points during the regular season, so we gotta figure out a way to keep them off the board for sure. We need Gagin to shut the door. But you know what? Gagin was very good in that series against Tampa. 921 save percentage in 6 games played. So I believe he can do the same against Carolina. Let's get right to it. Here we go. Game 1 against Carolina will be a 3-2 Hamilton victory. That is what you like to see. 58 shots to 21. We are dominating so far in these playoffs. 3 stars of the game, Nemetz, Combe, and Florent. First period, Nemetz with the goal from Lundqvist and Florent to make it 1-0. Second period, Helenius with the unassisted goal on the power play to make it 2-0. Cameron Combe with the goal for Carolina to make it 2-1. And then in the third period, you have Dominic Bertis with the goal to make it 2-2, heading into overtime where Adam Nemetz scores his second of the game from Florent and Zellweger to make it the 3-2 victory. We're up 1-0 in the series. Here we go. Game number 2 against Carolina will be a 3-2 Carolina victory. Shots are 43-35 in favor of your Hamilton Tigers. 3 stars of the game, Combe, Helenius, and Ruggiero with the 41 save performance. First period, you have Helenius with a goal from Bjork to make it 1-0. Second period, Cameron Combe with the goal ties it up at 1, but then Costa Helenius once again from Ryabkin and Lundqvist makes it 2-1. Third period, Boston Tight with the goal makes it tied at 2, and head into overtime for the second time in a row. Martin Necas with the goal makes it a 3-2 Carolina victory. Here we go. Game number 3 against Carolina in Carolina this time, and that will be a 2-1 Carolina victory. What is up with goaltenders of opposing teams shutting us down lately? Shots at 35-33 in favor of Hamilton. 3 stars of the game, Tkachuk, Bjork, and Jarvis. First period, no scoring. Second period, Albanese with the goal makes it 1-0. Then Vigo Bjork with the goal from Yagi and Zellweger makes it 1-1. No scoring in the third, and then Matthew Tkachuk in overtime makes it the 2-1 Carolina victory. Game number 4 against Carolina in Carolina still. That will be a 4-3 Carolina victory. Shots are 54-29 in favor of your Hamilton Tigers. 3 stars of the game are Bertis, Zellweger, and Jarvis. What is going on here? We're clearly dominating in the shots department, but we are getting shut down by opposing goaltenders. The first period, Seth Jarvis with the goal makes it 1-0. Second period, Victor Eklund with our first goal of the game from Marchenko and Lundqvist makes it 1-1. Then Han Tieshang, that's my best guess at that, makes it 2-1 Carolina. Then Yannick Yagi with the goal from Miller and Zellweger makes it 2-2. Jarvis with the goal makes it 3-2 Carolina, but then Zellweger late in the period from Frondell makes it 3-3. Heading into the third period, where it's Jack Carlson with the game-winning goal. No overtime this time. And I believe, yes, indeed, we are now down 3-1 in the series against Carolina. We're going to have to give it our all here in game number 5. Come on, we have to win 3 games in a row, in fact. So we're going into this one. Come on, Hamilton. Ooh, there's a goal for Cameron Combe. Makes it 1-0. Come on, Hamilton. All right, heading into the second period, down by 1. We got this. We're still very much in this game, but Jack Carlson with the goal makes it 2-0. All right, Joe Miller with his first goal of the playoffs from Murnix and Florent makes it 2-1. But there's 3-1. Jack Carlson with another one. Come on, boys. Oh, no, Liam Brooks. It makes it 4-1 in favor of Carolina. Not looking good heading into the third period. We need 3. We need 3. It's not happening, is it? Nope. Oh, man. That sucks. Shots are 35-27 in favor of Hamilton. We are constantly outshooting our opponents, but they had some fantastic goaltending once again. 3 stars of the game. Carlson, Ruggiero with a 971 save percentage, and then Combe. Oh, man. Wow. We got absolutely shut out by the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's take a look at the playoff stats. Helenius with 7 goals, 11 points. Bjork with 7 points. Ryabkin, Zellweger, and Florent with 6. 5 for Yagi, Frondell, and Nemetz. 4 for Eklund and Lundqvist, 3 for Savoie, Levchinov, Marchenko, and Kazda, 2 for Miller, Harley, and Murnieks, and then 1 for Lundborg. And in goal, a 909 save percentage for Gajan. I mean, he did his job. He did his job for the most part. Let's take a look at the schedule. Yeah, I mean, 4-1 loss, 4-3 loss, 2-1 loss, 3-2 loss, 3-2 win. I mean, we dominated most of these games in terms of the shots department. 58 shots here to 21. Game number 3, I think, was the only outlier where we weren't really too dominant, but we still got a respectable amount of shots on net. 35 shots on net, only 1 goal. Yikes. And then game number 4, 54 shots to 29. I mean, geez, I can't even really blame Gage in here. And to be honest, I don't know how much of this I can blame on our offense either. Because we got plenty of shots on net. I don't know if there were quality shots on net, mind you, but plenty of shots on net, plenty of scoring opportunities. And we, for some reason, could not solve the Carolina goaltender, Ruggiero. And mind you, this happened in the Tampa series as well, where the opposing goaltender shuts us down. 51 shots on net, only 2 goals in game number 3. Game number 4, 40 shots on net, only 1 goal. And then even in game number 5 where we won, we had 40 shots on net compared to 17. So to be honest, I think, and we didn't even have any injuries. So I think the only thing I can say about this playoff run is unfortunate. that's basically all it is. We just ran into a hot goaltender, to be honest, in Ruggiero. He absolutely shut us down in this series. I'm trying to find where he was the start of the game. Yeah, here he is. Ruggiero was very, very good. As we see, oh man, he has an 82 grade in these playoffs so far. Let's see. Luciano Ruggiero. See his playoff stats. Yeah, 935 save percentage in 11 games played. Yeah, he was just a man on a mission. There's only so much you can do when you run into a hot goaltender like he was. That was just, like I said, unfortunate. We ran into the wrong goaltender at the wrong time. Regardless, though, I am proud of this team this year. I think we did very well, especially after we fired our former coach. We brought in Jake Seibel. He helped us get back into not only back into the playoffs, but into a very respectable position. 41 wins under his tenure and just 63 games played. So I think there's still a lot of hope for this team, which is why we're going to continue past year 10. But I honestly believe we just ran into a really hot goaltender at the wrong time. I mean, they even beat Buffalo. Buffalo had 60 wins this season, mind you. They beat Buffalo, who, by the way, are the former Stanley Cup champions. So I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina ends up winning it all with how Ruggiero was playing there. All right, let's see who needs to be re-signed. You have Lundqvist, Nemetz, Frundell, Vic, Kazda, Eklund, and Murnieks as the big names there. So let's start out with Lundqvist. What does he want? 7.8 for 1 year. I mean, he did do well this season. 49 points in 73 games played, 67 grade, 105 hits. I mean, he's a good simulator for the most part. So I'm not going to write him off as a signing, but I think he's going to be my last priority. I want to make sure that everybody else is signed first. Ooh, actually, we only have 15.6 going into this upcoming offseason, as we do have, of course, Viggo Bjork making on his extension 11 million for the next 4 years. So we are going to have to probably make some cuts somewhere. And actually, I'm thinking Marchenko's probably going to go too. He's now down to a 3-star ability. He's starting to drop. And his highest roll rating is 12 for a sniper. And even that, he's not really fantastic at anymore. So I think we're going to have to seriously consider moving Marchenko, especially because of his contract, right? He's making almost 7 million for the next 3 years. Well, technically next 2 going into next season. But yeah, I think Marchenko's out of here. I mean, he did well this season. Don't get me wrong. He did very well. But with the way that he's continuing to drop, there's no way that he's going to be feasible moving forward in the next year or 2. Yeah, his offensive ratings starting to drop. Defensive ratings are dropping. Physical ratings are also dropping. Stamina, strength, speed, agility, all dropping. Yeah, I think it's time to move on from Marchenko. So we'll put him on the trade block. Nemetz, he had 60 points this year during the regular season, and during the playoffs, he had 5 points. Let's see what he wants. 5.3 for 3 years. Yeah, I would say he was worth it. I'm not going to sign that yet just because I want to see what everybody else wants, but that's definitely a good contract. What about Frundell? 5.8 for 64 points. I mean, yeah, that's once again another good contract. And he's consistent as well. Like, he had 68 points last year. So it's a very good contract for him. So Nemetz and Frundell, we're going to sign for sure. Kazda, 34 points in 81 games played, 60 grade. I do like the way he simulates for the most part. Let's see his expanded stats. 101 hits. He's a hitter. That's good. Yeah, I mean, Kazda is the kind of player who I usually sign. What does he want? 2.6 for 5 years. Yeah, it's a good deal for him. That seems like a good deal for him. Victor Eklund, he wants 5.8 as well. He had 41 points this season, 73 hits. What about during the playoffs? 4 points. I mean, yeah, he's worth that 5.8. It's just a matter of, are we going to have enough money to sign all these players? I don't think so. About Vic, he wants 2.6 for 3 years. I mean, he was in the minors most of the year anyway. Although we might have to call him up depending on what happens with all these other guys. So I'll just leave him qualified for right now. Then you have Murnix. He wants 2.5 for 3 years. He's not really the best simulator. 19 points in 61 games played, 56 grade, only 36 hits. Yeah, he's not a priority. All right, I think first priority is definitely got to be Frundell and Nemetz. They're both really good and are asking for decent contracts, so we will definitely approach them. All right, I got Frundell down to 5.5 for 3 years. We'll do that. I got Nemetz down to 5.05 for 3 years. Submit that offer to him. All right, so now those two are extended. Currently on our cap obligations, we have $5 million remaining for next year. However, we do have to consider that we are trading Marchenko. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We are moving Marchenko. So that frees up an additional $7 million. So roughly $12 million to work with. Next, I think I want to sign Kazda. And I got him down to 2.59 for 5 years. And your 2033-34 Stanley Cup champions are the Minnesota Wild. This is their first Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup winning goal was scored by Matt Boldy. They went through Calgary, Vegas, Chicago, and Washington. So it wasn't even Carolina in the Stanley Cup finals. I think another player we can trade away is Farabee. He's on a 2-year deal with 2.5, only a 1-star ability now. So he definitely did not age well over the course of that year. So there's another 2.5 that we can free up. Ooh, might have waited a little too long on Lundqvist. Now he's asking for 9.5 for 2 years. Nah, that's too much. I think we're gonna let him walk. I didn't think he would change his asking price over the course of a month like that. And Eklund still wants 5.8 for 3 years. Vic still wants 2.6 for 3 years. Murnix, I'm probably not going to re-sign. I think I'm just going to hold on to those rights, then trade him. Zavragan can get released. Painiemi, he wants 3.7 and a no trade clause for 3 years. Nah, not worth it. Not with our cap situation being the way it is. Merca, test the market. Akonson, test the market. Caclear, 1.5 for 2 years. Honestly, we might need him considering that we're releasing Lundqvist, and Caclear, at least in terms of his offensive category, is pretty good. However, his mental category is not as strong, and his physical ratings are also not as good for the most part. I guess we could give Caclear a chance, but the thing is, how many left-handed defensemen do we have? We have Harley, Zellweger, Hayden, Lundborg. Painiemi is probably getting released. The Levshinov's a righty. So we only have, not including Lundqvist, who's getting released to free agency, we have one righty right now. So I don't know how well Caclear would mesh into our current pool of defensemen, you know? Then again, he's only asked for 1.5 for 2 years. I guess we could keep him as a depth defenseman, if nothing else. I think I will sign Vic, because he seems like he's developed pretty well at this point. He's a 3-star ability now. Screening is very good at 19. Positioning is a 16. Face-off 17. Speeds at 16. So we will get him at 2.57 for 3 years. Actually, may as well shop Farabee now. See if I can get anything back for him. Nope. Looking like we might have to buy him out. And what about Marchenko? I can get a second back from Marchenko. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that now. So I think we'll send him to Calgary. Thank you for your service, Kirill Marchenko. But it is time to move on. Accept offer from Calgary. Oh, we got a trade offer for Farabee. Matthew Dowdle from Vancouver, age 25, 1.5-star ability. I mean, you know what? At least he has a decent contract. So yeah, sure, I'll take it. And then we will send Dowdle to Brampton. All right, time for the NHL awards. For the Ted Lindsay, you have Connor Bedard winning it for Tampa. 39 goals, 87 points. For the Art Ross, you have Mikko Rantanen of New York. 37 years of age now, 49 goals, 102 points. For the Maurice Richard, it's Jeremy Larange of Colorado. 50 goals and 86 points. Then for the Lady Byng, you have Alan Troedson of Dallas. 31 goals, 62 points. For the Bill Masterton, you have Alexander Holtz of Vegas. 17 goals and 45 points. The Mark Messier Leadership Award, you have Cameron Schmidt of Ottawa. 13 goals and 38 points this year. between Ottawa and Portland. And then for the Jennings, you have Yaroslav Askarov on Buffalo with a 920 save percentage in 67 games played. And for the Hart, between Rocco Albanese, Jack Hughes, and Connor Bedard, it is Connor Bedard of Tampa with 87 points. For the Conn Smythe, it is James Higgins of Washington with 27 points in 25 games played. So a player on the losing team wins the Conn Smythe this year. For the Calder, between Pasi Orstrom, Lucas Roynazan, and then Adam Mandel, it is Lucas Roynazan of Columbus with 52 points in 80 games played. For the Norris, between Dominic Badinka, Rasmus Dahlin, and Zane Perrick, it is Zane Perrick of Calgary with 77 points. For the Selke, between Miroslav Kochi, Christopher Barry, and Berkeley Reed, it is Christopher Barry of Philly with 47 points in 81 games played. For the Vezina, between Yaroslav Askarov, Dylan Chenot, and Nico Dawes, it is Nico Dawes with a 929 save percentage and 6 shutouts in 63 games played. For the GM of the year, between Jason Spezza, Tim Pattison, and Lee Stepniak, it is Jason Spezza of Chicago. And for the Jack Adams Award, between John Woods, Tim Kennedy, and Jay Pandolfo, it is Tim Kennedy of Buffalo. All right, it's June 23rd, so let's sign some prospects. You have a lot of deadlines coming up. Torquay, no thanks. Straka, no thanks. Nope, 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 nope. Lundgren, maybe. Laihinen, nope, no, no, and no. So let's just see what Lundgren's about. I mean, I guess he's good enough. He looks like he might eventually be some decent depth. So Lundgren, we will sign you, but that is about it. Unfortunately for all those prospects who have signing deadlines coming up. Let's see, what about ability-wise? You have Nielsen still at a 2-star ability. Has he grown over the past year? No growth in physical, no growth mentally, no growth offensively, and a little bit of growth defensively. +1 to hitting, that's about it. So I think we're still going to leave Linus Nielsen unsigned, along with all of these other prospects. Eklund's the only one I'm debating right now. He's the only one I'm not sure on. 41 points. I mean, he had a decent simulation last year. 73 hits, 4 points during the playoffs. Great puck handler, good positionally, great acceleration, good agility, decent everywhere else. See, part of the reason I liked Eklund is because he was cheap, right? 2.6 for a player of his ability was very good, but now he's going to be asking for 5.8. I don't know. I think I would prefer to see what's out there, just given our cap situation. I mean, we have 12 million free for next season. Actually, you know what? Let's just see what I could get Eklund down to first before we make our final decision on this. All right, I got him down to 5.4 for 3 years. So I think for me, the question is, will we be able to find anyone in free agency who is at the very least as good as he is for just as cheap? Probably not. That being said, I do think we need a sniper here. We didn't have a single player last season who cracked 30 goals. So for right now, I will release Eklund. However, he is a possibility to go back after in free agency if we want him. But we really do need a sniper in the worst way. That being said, I think we'll advance to the last day of 2033-34. And here's our season summary for the 2033-34 season. We reached the playoffs at a winning season and a winning percentage of 600 or better. Longevity bonus of 9, financial health bonus of 1, total season score is 29, total career scores so far is 191. I suppose I'll max out tactics and I will get motivation up to 17. Oh, there it is. New achievement, true franchise manager, managed a single team for 10 seasons. So now that we are on July 1st, let's see what we need. We have in goal, Gajan and Ravensbergen. Satisfied with that duo. We will keep moving forward with them. On defense, you have Levshunov, Harley, Lemborg, Zellweger, and Hayden. So we're definitely going to need some defensemen, particularly right-handed defensemen, as we have, I believe that is 4 lefties. Yes, indeed. And then at forward, you have Bjork, Ryabkin, Helenius, Nemetz, Frundell, Savoie, Yagi, Kazda, Eklund, Florent, Miller, and Lundgren we will send down. So gonna need a couple of forwards, gonna need a couple of defensemen. However, we are currently at 83.1 in cap. So we're gonna need to be careful here, and there's a good chance we're gonna have to move somebody out as well. At least in terms of right-handed defensemen, no one's really standing out to me besides, of course, Longfist, who, once again, I mean, he's not asking for as much as he was asking for in the re-sign stage, but still 5.7 for 3 years. If I could get him down to 1 year at that amount, then I would do that. But yeah, he's not really budging from 3 years. He wants that, he wants that term. And then, like I said, everybody else here on this list is just not very enticing. I looked at Juracek as well, but obviously we had him for a short time before and he wasn't really the best of defensive simulators. Forward wise, the one forward who is standing out to me right now as a possible option for a goal scorer is Liam Greentree. As last year with Winnipeg in 80 games played, he had 34 goals and 58 points. So he's clearly a goal first kind of guy. 65 grade, 121 hits, so he's physical as well. However, he has a lack of playoff history, as the last time he was in the playoffs was the 2026-27 season when he was just 20 years old. He's now 28, so poor guy has not seen the playoffs for a very long time. Of course, that's not going to be a determining factor in whether I sign him or not. But unfortunately, besides Greentree, there's no one else who's really standing out to me as a possible goal scorer here. Maybe Chaz Lucius, but even he's focused more on assists, right? I'm looking for specifically a sniper. I mean, it has his major role as goal scorer. At least that's according to the game, but he appears to be more of a playmaker. And let's see, he wants 6.2 for 3 years. I would do that for a player of his talent level, but he's not my ideal candidate. I think we might have to make a trade here, honestly. I think we might have to make most of our acquisitions via trade. Unfortunately, we do not have any first round picks to speak of over the next 3 years, so that might prove to be a bit difficult. Yeah, I think we might just have to settle for Lucius or Greentree. Lucius wants 6.2, Greentree wants 5.4. My only concern is, again, who do we move out in order to acquire one of these guys? And that's not to mention, we also need at least 2 defensemen. Yeah, I think we're going to have to move somebody out here. And I would not be surprised if that was Savoie, to be honest, because he's currently making 6.1 as our third line center, because he is currently behind Ryabkin and Frondell. Frondell had 64 points last year. Ryabkin had 85. Savoie had 45. He is the odd man out when it comes to offensive centers. So I think we might end up trading Savoie. But again, even if we trade Savoie, that would only free up enough cap for possibly one good forward. Yeah, there's a lot to consider here. So I think with that being said, we're going to end things off here. And the next one, we will continue the year 10 offseason as we have some big decisions ahead of us.